YouTube, what's going on? We got this guy trying the biggest food on the internet for 10 days straight. Off the rip. Look how big and gigantuously big as fuck freak this sandwich is. It's huge. His name Eric the Electric. So let's get into it.
10 biggest foods on earth, and my goal is to finish
real
all
or
of them
fake?
by the end of the next 10 days. Why 10 days? With how massive these foods are, let's just say I'm gonna need all the time I can get.
I'm so ready. I need all the time I can get.
Starting with the Zeus burger, which is a burger so big that it feeds up to 14 people.
Damn.
This 10-day food challenge is only complete if I can follow these rules. Rule number 1, I have to finish whatever food I get the day it shows up at my doorstep, which is really gonna be interesting because I have no idea when any of them are gonna be arriving. Rule number 2 is where it's gonna get really interesting. Because if it's midnight and I still have food left over, not only will I have leftovers to eat the next day, but the next giant food that shows up is gonna be close to impossible for me to finish. Why? Because I'm gonna be letting my followers choose. I'll have to let my followers choose 4 random foods for me to eat with the next item that shows up. And if there's any group of people out there that love seeing me stuff my face with more food, it's my followers. This challenge is only complete if all 10 foods I ordered are finished by the end of the 10th day.
Oh, hell
I
no.
cannot believe I forgot. In a rush to get ready for this massive challenge, I realized I forgot an essential item.
Man, got all that meat in one sitting. Pause. That big ass sandwich, man. What the fuck you doing trying to eat some shit that huge, man? Your stomach ain't supposed to ingest no shit like that, man. I know you a world famous eater, but bruh, where it go? Like, constipation gotta be crazy.
And then shortly after that, I realized I forgot 2 essential items. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need the Ultra Strong this week. Considering the foods I was about to eat in this challenge, this statement couldn't have been any more true.
Damn.
Good to go. Don't get me wrong, this was a really good burger. But it was even better with some ranch on top. I got back into the last half of the burger and was making solid progress. And then it was finally time to eat the healthiest part of the burger. To all the vegans that are watching, I dedicate this to you.
Man, my stomach hurt just
Unfortunately, the patty was a bit tougher than I would have liked, which meant my jaws were taking more of a beating than my stomach, and that's saying something. Each bite of this burger was getting harder and harder. I feel like I just ran a marathon. With just a quarter of the bun left, I knew there was only one way I was going to be able to make it through the rest of this chewy bread. It's like a football piece of bread right here. Jeez. I got some hot water to help soften up the bun.
Ah, that shit disgusting.
Additional H2O for this.
I know that's.
And of course, I added some more of the good stuff. It's good, all right? It's better than good. It's exceptional. And only a few minutes later, there was just a couple bites left.
This man really ate that big ass burger like that.
I feel like whatever I just did is probably illegal in all 50 states and
it should be. That's a heart
many
attack.
countries.
I wonder how his damn arteries feel, boy. I know they clogged in a motherfucker. I hope he work out all the time. Bro, that motherfucking stomach, man. He got that damn burger sitting in his stomach like that, man. That motherfucker like these, playing peekaboo and shit.
That was a salty burger. I went to bed that night, comfortably full. Little did I know that things were about to get sweet. Maybe a little too sweet. All right, day 2.
What the fuck? That big ass cookie. He don't be able to finish that. He gonna finish that quick though. It's like a cookie piece of his.
It's like as big as my head. Item number 2, the T-Rex cookie. A cookie that's 57 times bigger than a regular cookie. With how much salt I'd eaten the day before, the first bite of this cookie was magical. While the cookie wasn't warm on the inside, the perfectly chewy texture was making my taste buds very happy. This cookie was so good that I actually felt like I was having an out-of-body experience for a few seconds. With how big of a cookie I'm eating, I know there's going to be a lot of questions down below in the comments. So I made sure to clarify one very important thing. For all of you keeping score at home, there's approximately 5,550 grams.
That is fucking crazy, boy. He gonna have high blood sugar, not high blood sugar, sugar diabetes. That's what they call it. Off eating something like that. That's a big ass cookie, man.
That last part up. I have no idea how much sugar is in this cookie. Unfortunately, after I got halfway through the cookie, the richness of all the chocolate definitely caught up with me. Goodness gracious. All I can say is that this milk was a lifesaver. Everyone needs to comment down below right now. What is your optimal dunking time?
I don't drink milk.
I think it's better to leave it in as long as possible.
I don't drink milk, my boy. I don't drink milk.
Forget I just said that. Even though I had enough cookie inside of me to legally be called a bakery, I was finally almost done. I feel like this wasn't just a cookie, this was a life choice. Whether it was a good one or a poor one, I'll let you be the judge. T-Rex cookie is down. That was a very delicious cookie. Delicious, but also very sweet. In fact, I feel like I'm one step away from a serious sugar rush.
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space? Enter your address and get a 360-degree satellite view.
After all that milk, my stomach wasn't feeling the greatest. So I hit the store for some Lactaid to get some much needed relief. But relief was the last thing I was about to experience. After my girlfriend Christy informed me that I had a package waiting for me at home, I wanted to know what I was in for. So I asked her to send me a photo of the box.
Webster on story.
After a few short seconds, it finally hit me. I knew exactly what was waiting for me at home.
That nigga got some of the hugest meat at the crib waiting on him right now. Pause on that too, because that sounded crazy coming out my mouth. Just pause again. That sounded even crazier. Let's just continue.
I picked up some items that I hoped would help me take down the next food. I realized that with only a few hours left until midnight and another massive food to eat, I was running into the first major problem this week, because packages can get delivered at any time. But the later in the day they showed up, the more difficult this challenge was going to be. Everyone, I genuinely don't know if I'm going to make it through this week. In fact, I may actually be kicking the bucket of Nutella.
Oh, that's
Somewhere.
boy,
That
that's
probably
gonna be
made
hard. That's
absolutely no
dense
sense.
as
That
hell.
just needed a transition. Item number 3, the Nutella bucket. A Nutella
bucket
container
of
so
Nutella.
massive that it's over 10 times bigger than a regular jar of Nutella. Oh my.
Y'all think he?
My God.
Comment if y'all think he gonna finish this. I don't know if he gonna finish this, bro. This shit might be. It look like a bunch of. It look like a bad time on the toilet inside of there, man. I don't know if he gonna be able to finish this, boy. That's too much sugar.
This is not going to end well. Just in case you haven't noticed, I have some covers on the plates on my table. What's underneath those covers are the only things that I could think of that could possibly get me through something like this. And if they can't, I am in some serious trouble. I'm gonna warn you all right now, trying to eat 6.6 pounds of Nutella is the second most reckless thing I've ever done. What's the most reckless? Well, you'll find out later on in the video. Cheers. It tastes like Nutella. Believe it or not, I actually had the stomach space to take down this Nutella. Oh, right. But the biggest thing keeping me from finishing this wasn't my stomach. It was my taste buds. Saltiness. But as long as I could manage the flavor fatigue, I was confident I could take this thing down. Ritz crackers, Nutella, absolutely marvelous combination. If you're all wondering why I'm eating this out of a bowl instead of just dipping it in the bucket, I feel like that would just be an all-time low in my life. The salty crackers were making a huge difference, but given the fact I felt like I was eating a year's worth of sugar in one sitting, I decided to bring another essential to the table. The next item I put into my mouth might not make a whole lot of sense to you all, but I felt it very necessary for this.
What the fuck? Oh, strawberries. That's good, bro.
What? I needed to get some fruit in.
Strawberries. Pretty
Halfway through
straight.
the strawberries, I immediately realized they were a terrible decision. Not only was the added sweetness making the flavor fatigue worse, but the extra weight from the strawberries filled me up a bit too much. I gotta be honest, everyone, I am not doing so well right now.
I'm already knowing,
feel
bro. That shit's too
exceptionally
dense, too
horrible,
heavy.
like even more so than usual. For whatever reason, I thought this would be a great addition to this meal, which now seems to be not that great of an addition. For some reason, I thought the bread would be a lot saltier, but unfortunately for me, it wasn't. Oh, dude, this is so bad. I can't believe I'm actually physically subjecting my pancreas to this. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. Fun fact, there once was a massive jar of Nutella you could buy online, and I had always wanted to do that as a challenge, up until now. After decorating the remaining bread with more Nutella and some salt, I finished off the plate of bread. But if I was gonna make it through this bucket, I had to give my stomach a break. Everyone, it looks like I have roughly 50% left. I don't even know, but I gotta figure something out because as of right now, I completely am not going to be doing.
Yeah, I think he gonna get through this. I don't think he finishing this Nutella, bro. I don't think it's possible. That shit way too dense, bro. Could y'all finish this jar of Nutella by yourself in one sitting? Nutella good, but not that good. Not that good.
This is rough. This is horrible.
Not that good at all.
After attaching myself to my couch for the next hour or so, I realized I was in big trouble.
I've had this ad blocker for 1 week, and it's already blocked over 1,000 ads. Meat pie, a Chrome extension.
Because not only were the items I bought earlier not salty enough, but I didn't have anything salty enough in my house either, or so I thought. My new strategy was to use the salty pretzel rods to get down the Nutella. But with less than an hour and a half left,
My blood type is now Nutella.
I began to realize that was going to be close to impossible.
And as each sugary bite grew more and more intense, I realized I was gonna need a new plan.
Everyone, I have roughly 35%, possibly 30% of the bucket still left.
With how much Nutella was left and how horrible I felt and looked, I was preparing for my first loss until I came up with one of the wisest and most clever ideas in the history of all eating challenges.
Drink that shit.
Clearly, I'm a culinary genius.
He could have drunk the shit. Like, he could put it in some water. It's gonna be nasty as fuck, but he would have got it done.
And as I'm sure you can probably expect, the extra salt did absolutely nothing.
So delirious right now.
I was obviously out of ideas, but with less than 10 minutes left, I was gonna give this last bit of Nutella everything I had. But after seeing I was out of Ritz crackers and realizing I was gonna have to go in raw, ultimately I realized there was no way that could happen, so I took my first loss.
It's alright, bro.
I have to say it, I'd rather take the loss. So I'm throwing in the white paper towel and hoping that whatever shows up next is on the smaller end of giant, because it's gonna have 4 additional things added to it, all determined by my followers.
As the clock struck midnight, there was just one last thing I had to do.
But I am curious about one more thing. So it looks like I have 1,068 grams of Nutella left to finish tomorrow as well.
The first loss of the week meant I was gonna have to finish a little less than 6,000 calories of Nutella, whatever giant food showed up next, along with 4 random foods before midnight tomorrow, or else I'd be faced with another loss, which would put me in the exact same position all over again. I went to bed that night not feeling very hopeful.
So did you finish the Nutella?
I didn't. But imagine if I woke up tomorrow and it was just gone. Wouldn't that be a miracle?
She's sitting there like, man, better you than me, my nigga. Make that money for the family.
Very much still there. All right, I did not hear the doorbell ring this morning, so maybe. Packages. Well, hey, maybe today's the day my stomach finally gets a break. Never mind.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Item
Damn.
number 4, O-Bagels Jumbo Bagel.
That's a
A
big
bagel
ass
so
bagel.
big that it's over 25 times bigger than a regular bagel.
And to go with this massive bagel, I have to eat 4 additional things, all chosen by my followers. Just got the world's biggest bagel.
Excuse me.
All right, now that that's done, I'm gonna wait a little bit and then we'll come back and see what I gotta eat with this.
It's time for the moment of truth. How this is gonna work is I'm gonna close my eyes and whatever my finger lands on is what I have to eat. Okay, a perfectly normal thing to eat with a bagel, just maybe not 12 of them. Okay, another thing to eat with the bagel. Okay, good again. Oh no, no, no! An entire jar of one of the most vile.
Pickles are fucking disgusting. They are terrible. They smell. They look bad. They don't taste good. This shit just nasty. Overall, I don't understand how people eat pickles, bro. That shit is fucking filthy.
All things on earth. Seems like I'm in a bit of a
Let's
pickle.
skip to where he eating this shit.
That's a
though.
really bad joke. The most difficult part of this challenge was without a doubt going to be the dense doughiness of the bagel. But the extra salt from the eggs and the bacon was very much needed.
Everyone, so far this is tasting amazing. I'm just so happy that this is not. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. Whew. Guys, this is like bringing back memories of the burger I ate a few days ago.
I knew eventually the bagel was going to hit my stomach harder than a 2 a.m. Taco Bell run, so I did my best to enjoy it as much as possible while I could.
I want you all to comment down below right now what your favorite bagel is. A lot of people like plain bagels. A lot of people like everything bagels. Me personally, I'm team cinnamon raisin.
I don't fuck with bagels, bro. They too.
After I got to
like,
the halfway point, I was incredibly surprised that my stomach
Bagels aren't like soft bread. That shit like a little stiffer. Yeah, I might just have some damn stale bagels. I don't know, but I ain't. I
doing all
can't.
that bad. So I
I
decided
don't like
to carry
bagels,
on.
bro.
This is how I cut carbs.
But unfortunately, a few bites later,
This bagel is so big and fluffy.
the bagel caught up with me.
Which is pretty much gonna be me after this is over. Well, everyone, both my stomach
gonna
and
finish it,
my
though. He ain't got
intuition are
much
telling
left. He
me
gonna
kind of
finish
chill
it,
out
though.
right now because this bagel is very dense. It's a lot denser than I thought. Plus, I have those pickles and the rest of the Nutella to finish before midnight, or else whatever I get next has to get more stuff added to it.
After walking off roughly 100 calories out of the 10,000 I had just eaten, Oh god. I fell asleep on the couch for a little while. After waking up and realizing how full I still was, I knew that considering I had the rest of the Nutella bucket left, along with half the bagel, I was gonna need a strategy. So I decided to bring out the warm water. Liquid is crucial in food challenges because it can soften up hard food items and make them easier to digest, and this bagel was a perfect candidate. I decided to shift my focus to the remaining ham and eggs and save the bagel for last. But after I started on them, I knew I had to get the pickles out of the way as soon as possible.
Just gotta do it.
Oh,
If you guys
that's
are still
so
with the flow of the
fucking
video, drop a
nasty.
pickle emoji down below because I'm about to subject myself to pickles.
Ooh,
As I
that's
expected,
nasty.
this was
Pickles are
horrible.
terrible.
Thankfully, I had something on hand to reawaken my taste buds.
It's time to cleanse that disgustingness out of my mouth with some wow sauce.
Even though my signature wow sauce does make every meal a memorable one, the fact that I was still eating one of my least favorite foods on earth was kind of a downer.
Rizzler3638, I hate you.
But shockingly, I was able to not just finish off the rest of the ham, eggs, and bacon, but the pickles as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in my entire life, I can actually say that I've eaten a jar of pickles. This is the only time in my life I ever want to say I've done that.
But now it was time for the hardest part, the dense,
Weird.
doughy bagel.
I'm gonna warn you all right now, what you're about to witness is not gonna be pretty, but food challenges aren't always glamorous.
The water from earlier was meant specifically for one reason, dunking. At this point, my taste buds were completely non-operational, so that being said,
Oh man, this bagel is so dense.
my only focus was to finish this bagel by any means necessary.
Well, I'm just eating slower and slower and slower.
Not only was my speed slowing down, but my brain was as well.
This bagel is literally something that's, yeah, it's really big. I can't even think anymore. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know where I am.
Hell no.
Well, everybody, I have made it through 25%.
Man, stomach made of
if not
steel,
more,
bro. He be
of the
eating the
bagel.
fuck out some
About
shit.
940 right now, which
Him
means
and
I
Matt
have a little bit
Stoney,
over
bro.
2 hours to get this down, along with the leftover Nutella. What I'm gonna do is lay on the couch like a beached whale.
At this point, I was beyond full, and when I say that, I mean it.
I feel like I'm 37 months pregnant. Goodness, that is a bread baby like no other.
And to make things worse, I still hadn't emotionally recovered from the Nutella that I ate the night before. I spent the next 20 minutes full of wasabi, but with only a few bites left, I was almost done with the bucket.
This is so sweet. I don't even know if I'm still in the same dimension anymore.
Okay,
And
so
even
he
with the
finished the
odds stacked
bagel.
against me, I managed to finish off the Nutella and get the win.
I'm calling that done, everybody. With
All right, I'm not gonna watch this whole video, but as y'all can see, this man's stomach is literally endless. If y'all enjoyed that video, like, comment, subscribe. I would never do no shit like this because I would be constipated like the fuck. But get this man to subscribe. He got 4.5 million, 55 million. Probably gonna have him even more than that. If you want to see the rest of the video, go to his channel and watch it. I'll holler at y'all in the next one.